What's happening? Big Shay reporting for duty. Welcoming you back to another episode of the Yellow Cafe podcast. And today I just want to speak on some sentimental things, I guess. I just recently, this past weekend, went to a class reunion, 20-year class reunion, which is just absurd and sounds crazy in itself. It shouldn't be 20 years since I did anything if I wasn't a child. But it's like, you go back 20 years just to find out, yeah, you were still like a young adult, a teenager. That was 20 years ago. It's like, man, that time has flew past. But just something that I just really want to touch base on in regards to that reunion was just it was just a beautiful event, bro. And I didn't go to the first night where it was like the formal event and whatnot. I'm not going to say I wasn't interested. I've always been interested ever since I first heard about it, you know what I mean? But I just was looking at the reality of my schedule, everything I had going on. I just didn't think it would be a possibility. But honestly, after seeing all of the people that I saw attend, I had to make that, that second event, that Sunday. I said, man, that was a lot of faces out there, a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. Look, man, the thing that really hit me about the whole situation was there was a flyer that was made of all of the people from our class that were no longer with us. And I knew a few of them, like I'm talking about in terms of the situations of how they passed, when it happened. I remembered a couple of those scenarios, but there were a lot of other faces I saw. I never even knew that they were gone. And I felt a certain guilt about that because it's like, I haven't kept in touch with people. You get what I'm saying? And that was something that I've always kind of been jealous of or envious of, not in a bad way, but in a good way. To just see people who had large groups of friends, large circles of friends. Like I was always a loner, you get what I'm saying? Purposely. I just always was on my own little kick, on my own little missions, on my own little type of time. I had love for people, but I just never was, I guess, like just rooted in one of those type of relationships like that. Friends that I had since young, we've all went our separate ways. I've taken some paths in my life that were not the wisest, that were not the smartest. Those paths broke me away from a lot of the people that I grew up with in terms of school. But see, in school, and I come up in honors classes, being in the same class with the same people all day long, like really, really knowing these people because you're in the same classes day after day, year after year. And it wasn't until I got to high school that I broke away from that. Because me going to high school, worrying about what other people were thinking, not wanting to look like a nerd, not wanting to look like I was extra smart, I removed myself from honors classes and put myself into regular classes once I got to high school. And so that messed me up. I'm just not thinking about it. I'm just realizing that messed up my trajectory with a lot of my peers and whatnot, because what that did was, by me already being in honors classes in middle school and stuff like that, when I got to high school, the only equivalent of my honors classes was to just put me in the next grade. So put me in classes that people in the next grade were taking. So 9th grade, I was in classes with nothing but 10th graders. 10th grade, I'm in class with nothing but 11th graders. 11th grade, I'm in class with nothing but 12th graders. So I missed all of those times and interactions with a lot of my peers from middle school and elementary school. All of that ended there. And I took on a certain circle of friends that were outside of school, away from school, being that I was hanging around a few older people and getting involved in some things I had no business being involved with. I took on a whole new circle of friends and circle of peers. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, when I look back on it now, I just feel some type of way about that, because I just don't feel as though I was being real with myself. You get what I'm saying? And I look back at all of the beautiful people that I saw at the graduating class, and I'm just like, dog, these are my peers. This is my group of friends that I was supposed to grow with and learn things with, go through things with. And I just say all that because you never knew what type of issues or problems people had when you were in school. You never knew that. I'm hearing stories right now to this day about people I went to school with and what they were going through while we were going to school. And I never knew anything about it, never had the slightest idea. And just as a child, we are some of the cruelest creations that God has ever made. You know what I mean? Children just have no filter. Children have no mercy. They have no sense of compassion sometimes. So a lot of times we were doing things and treating people certain type of ways in school because maybe they didn't look a certain type of way. They weren't popular for a certain type of reason or whatever it was. And you had no idea what that child was going through at home just to come to school so that your little ignorant behind could just add on to the negativity in their life. I'm talking about myself. You know what I mean? You never know these things. And that's why even when I went to the reunion, I approached everyone cautiously, man. Very cautiously. At least I attempted to be extremely humble and cautious when approaching everyone because I don't know what memories I have left or what type of attitude or reputation I left with a lot of these people. And just to be, openly accepted and just to have love shown to you, it just really humbled me. You know what I mean? It just really knocked me off of any pedestal that I ever thought I ever could have been on. And it just made me just realize, bro, just all of the beautiful people and beautiful interactions and relationships that I have not nurtured over the years. You know what I mean? So just moving forward, it just shows me to just have my eyes open, to be more aware to things around me. I'm just so happy to see all of the people that I did see that I have. And listen, you still don't know what people are going through. That's the thing. Folks are older now. Folks were hiding things in their life when they were young. A lot of folks are still hiding things in their life now that they're ashamed of, that their esteem is affected by. So I don't even know what I'm saying with this whole message. I just know that it just was a beautiful thing to see a lot of people that I grew up with, bro. And I truly just wish them the best. I understand that I do have a calling from God to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. I do know that I need to tighten up some things in my life so that I can carry out this mission with a good heart and with a great mindset. But I just want to learn more about people. I just want to learn more of how to love people, how to accept people. Now listen, I don't accept everything, and I'm not going to accept everything. I'm never going to accept everything. There are some people involved in things in our lives that we know are not right, that you can't get into heaven being involved with these type of things. But a lot of people just don't know any better. A lot of people aren't doing things because they just know, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and go straight to hell. They don't know any better. They just don't know. And I just look at the amount of people that made it in life and are making it in life still without knowing the word of God, but God is protecting us. So many people, bro, from that class, including myself, that maybe shouldn't even be here. But we were able to sit there and see each other in the flesh the other day. And it just did something to me. It just did something for me. And just, I don't know, man. I just was real happy to just see everybody. And everyone seemed genuinely happy to see each other. Now, one thing I was not happy about, I'm gonna just say this flat out. There were a lot of people, bro, that I know I went to school with since elementary that I did not see at that reunion, bro. Now, I don't know what the case was. I heard there was a little chitter-chatter maybe back and forth about certain people not being involved in the committee, in putting the event together and all of that. Like, I don't know. I don't know how all of that goes. I don't know how all of that is supposed to go. I didn't know that there were politics with like class reunions and things like that. And like certain people are supposed to automatically be involved in the process. I didn't know all of that. I was never involved. Look, the only award I ever got in school was having the best hair. You understand what I'm saying? Because I had the longest hair. Me, and I got it for the men. And I remember the young lady, I want to say Janelle, which is crazy. That's my wife's name also now. But Janelle, she won it for the women. So for the ladies. So she had the best hair for the ladies. I had the best hair for the men. That's the only award I ever won. In terms of being like political and all of that, class president and all that, I never felt I even had a shot for any of that type of stuff. Like, I just, even back then, I just kind of knew that my reputation was so tore up that no one is going to vote for you for anything. You get what I'm saying? So, I don't know how all of that went. Like, class trip. I feel some type of way about that. Didn't go on a class trip. Like, say, bro, I was real shy, believe it or not. I was real shy to where back then I wasn't involved in a lot of activities that included a lot of people, bro. I don't know what my problem was, but I just wanted to be alone, bro. I wanted to be alone, left to my vices. And when I look back on it now, I'm like, man, I could have been in one of those pictures of the class trip. But I couldn't have. You know why? I was not eligible. I'm talking about, bro, since I left out of middle school, I was not eligible for any extracurricular activities at school. Like, you know, back then for field trips, if you had certain things on your discipline record, you weren't able to go. So my discipline record, the second I hit high school, which in my jacket, was ridiculous. I was not eligible for anything. Them people did not want me leaving campus at all under their supervision. They were like, once you leave here, you on your own. We're not taking you with us anywhere, though. I tell you that much, you ain't going anywhere. So I went on no field trips, bro. Anytime it was time for, I went on none. Then, like I said, I wasn't even involved in my class. Like, I was just tore up. Now that I think about it, like, how was I going to go to a class trip when I'm in class with people of the next grade at all point in times? I'm hearing about their class trip. And I know I sure wasn't going on their class trip because that's older class. So I'm looking at them like, yeah, like, you know, in high school, when somebody's a year or two older than you, it's like they 10 years older than you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, they way older than me, bro. I don't have any business, you know, being with them. But I don't know, bro. It's just a lot of things just went running through my head, and a lot of, you know, just sentimental thoughts and values were brought up after just attending that reunion, bro. It just was a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's technically my class. Technically my class is 05, but technically my class is 04, but it just was a beautiful thing, man. I just wish the best to everyone who I saw. I just hope that at some point in time I have a chance, opportunity to just chop it up with a lot of individuals to just, you know, just see where everybody is at in their minds and in their lives. And just the biggest thing about it too, bro, I just feel as though it takes a community, bro. That's one of my most favorite sayings. It takes a village, bro. Like, what kind of people could we be? Like, what kind of troubles have some of our classmates gone through and other classmates have not been there to help them through these things? How many of our classmates have lost parents, lost relatives, lost their spouse, lost children? I know some of my classmates are old enough to where a couple of them have lost their children in the streets. You get what I'm saying? Some of my classmates have had kids that are old enough to where they have their lives taken to violence in the streets. We ought to be there for each other for that. You know, all these years of, all those times of just spending all of these years in front of people that you were just either trying to impress or competing with or whatever. You know, in high school, it's all kind of nonsense. And a lot of it's still going on to this day. But it's like, bro, you have to be able to look past all of that, put some of that to the side and just understand and realize these are people in my community, bro. Like they always tell you, you only get one mother. You only get one father. You got to cherish those things. You only get one realistic class and group of people that you grew up with. Like, there's no other group of people that you can go and meet and genuinely say, hey, you remember me from middle school. You can't do that. You can't buy that. You can't manufacture that. So I feel as though there's a certain obligation that I have to those group of people and individuals, and me socially, I have not been holding up my part of the deal, my part of the bargain. So I salute and appreciate all of you that have kept in contact with one another. Some of you are real family members, so of course you have been keeping in contact with one another. But some of you don't have any connections to each other except going to school with them. And for you all to be decent enough people, loving enough people, Like that's really what it was. Coming up in high school, I wasn't loving, bro. I wasn't loving, family. I was conceited, I was cocky, I was stuck up, I was arrogant, I was selfish. I was everything evil. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I look up now and I just look at the people who way back then had a mature mindset, an adult mindset to love one another, to be with one another, to be there for one another, now I salute that, bruh. I salute that. I salute that. And I've always been someone who's considered myself loyal to my friends, loyal to my partners. But it's like a lot of the circles and the groups of people that I have chose to make my peers, to make my friends, it hasn't always been the most trustworthy circle of people that you should just trust your life in their hands. You get what I'm saying? I got a few partners to this day. They solid to the bone. Can't speak nothing about them. And they solid on all kind of levels, any kind of level you talk about. But for the most part, I just feel as though I neglected a more well-rounded group of individuals that were tailor-made for me in order to try to become something that I wasn't. I neglected that. I left that alone. You get what I'm saying? And so I guess there's no one I would apologize to directly or just personally, but just as a whole, to the whole class, to the whole school, to anyone who I came into contact with. I just wish that I could have been a better individual in order to just to be a more likable person, I guess. And not just so people could like me, but so that people could like me for the right reason. For the right reasons. For being a compassionate man. For being a loving man. For being someone who they knew would grow into a great father, a great husband. Man, if you ask people who they thought I would be, ain't no telling what kind of answers you would get. If anyone would even want to answer the question. You might ask somebody, be like, I don't know about that. I don't talk about him. You get what I'm saying? But I just look at the example I could have set way back then. And I applaud so many of you who were listening to your parents. Who could say, I had my father in my life, my mother in my life. Yeah, my parents had just went through a divorce right before I got to high school. So I was affected by that and, going crazy in my mind and didn't even know it, didn't realize it because I didn't think that could affect me like that. But you don't know, childhood trauma and things that happen. Like, you don't know how those things really affect you. But other people, like who may not have even had one parent, still grew to be beautiful people, loving people. Yes, they may have things in their life that they're still trying to figure out. Yes, they may have things that they're still lost by, that they feel as though they may have no hope in these situations and scenarios. But I guess now is the time where, we can come together as adults and help each other. You know what I mean? It just was a blessing to me, bro. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I just was affected in a good, positive way and manner by that reunion. And it was the same way when I went to the 05 reunion years ago. But the 04 just hits different because I know for a fact, even though I graduated in 05, I know for a fact I'm rooted in 04. I know that's my people. I spent my whole life with these people just to get put out of school in my 12th grade year, last 9 weeks after all the hell I put these people through. They couldn't deal with me for another 2-3 weeks. After all the hell I put these people through, they finally pulled a trigger on me. 9 weeks of my 12th grade year just to make me come back for a half a year to take gym, which Miss Thompson kicked me out of that gym class. Then I had to just go to health class or something with Coach North. Luckily, my sister was a cheerleader for Everett for years, way before that. My mama was one of them great, active parents with the cheerleading squad and cookies and bacon and always doing stuff for the school. So all those people knew me on the strength of my family. So Coach North, I used to go to sleep in that class every single day. I'd wake up and that boy would just look at me and say, "See you tomorrow, Mr. Shelton." He told me first day, he said, "I'm gonna get you out of here." And I didn't even play football. I was like, I hope you don't want me to play football or something. Because I left football alone when I was 13. I said, I play basketball, sir. But I said, I hope he doesn't expect me to, you know what I'm saying, come out there and try out for the team or something just because he's going to get me through this class now. But nah, it was none of that. He just was showing love. But yeah, technically I'm 05, technically I'm 04. I'm all mixed up. Y'all know I'm just a mixed biracial dude. Been mixed up with all kind of stuff my whole life, bro. But I just appreciate the love, man. Anyone who could hear this and hears my voice, I just appreciate that love, bro. And that's just something that I just want to say. I just want to get out there. And yeah, just God bless, man. God bless. One.